It's Monday, August 5th, 2024, and this is episode 315 of You Can Bet On That. Hi, everybody. Welcome to You Can Bet On That, a podcast for the recreational gambler. I'm Mark Duvall.
And I'm Dr. Mike.
Well, Dr. Mike, COVID finally caught up with me.
Yep.
You can hear it a little bit in my voice, you said.
I sure can, yeah.
Oh, my gosh. First time I've tested positive since the pandemic began. It was right after cards. We played poker on Tuesday night, and I got home and well, I don't feel very well. And then just a hell night, right? Shivers and stress dreams. You know, my stress dreams, I wake up, I can't even describe what I was dreaming about.
Yeah.
You know, but they were so stressful. What was your nightmare? I don't know, numbers? I was stressing over numbers or...
Yeah, it doesn't take much. It could be anything. It's just like you can't figure it out. Yeah. So it's stressful.
So that first day was rough. Not like go to the hospital rough, but, you know, I was sick. And I definitely feel better today. It's mostly just being stuffed up and coughing every once in a while. But now Sherry has it. It looked like nobody... I texted all the poker guys, you know, that morning saying, hey, guys, look, I took a test. It's definitely COVID. Take the necessary precautions. I haven't heard that any of them have had any symptoms, so hopefully.
Well, no, because they just went to poker, not to COVID Con.
I probably got it. You know, when you go to Comic Con, it's like an intimate relationship with about 100,000 people.
Yeah, it is packed in there.
Yeah. So that's probably where I got it from, and Sherry probably avoided it somehow, but then living with me, she got it. So
she got it.
Anyway, COVID. I joined the club.
Well, at least it wasn't terrible for you.
I mean, yeah. I mean, not, you know, beginning of the pandemic terrible, right? Yeah, this is like a bad case of the flu. It's the sickest I've been in some time. I can't even remember when I've been laid up like this. But anyway, speaking of Comic-Con was a lot of fun. Again, nothing really for the show. Well, nothing at all for the show. There wasn't any gambling references or anything that I could come up with. But we had a good time, as always.
Good. Did they get bigger crowds than last year?
Well, again,
bigger than they expected.
The crowds, I think, were the same. It's just that there, you know, this was a better con because it wasn't during the Hollywood strikes.
Right. So, there were a lot of celebrities there and stuff like that.
So, you know, I mean, once you have tickets, you show up. It's not like people don't come because of the strike. I mean, they've got tickets. You buy tickets months in advance.
Right.
So it was crowded last year. It was crowded this year. But, you know, a better experience because all the actors and everything were at the panels. So, yeah, it was much better.
Anyone ask about me?
At the con?
Yeah, at the Comic-Con.
No, nobody did.
No celebrities?
There was no celebrities. The Impractical Jokers weren't there. So they didn't ask about you. No, your name didn't come up at all. I have to be honest with you, Dr. Mike. You know, Robert Downey Jr. showed up, and he said he was going to play Doctor, and I thought, I hope it's going to be Dr. Mike in an upcoming Marvel movie. No, it's Dr. Doom. So,
Dr. Doom, yeah. Well, their loss, I guess, Mark.
Oh, as always. But I do have some good news. My slump is over. In fact, the day that our last episode dropped, we went out to Sequan, had a nice little win, and that's all I've played since because of Comic-Con and because of being sick. So just one trip out to the casino, and at least did well. So slump officially over.
Good. Yeah, slump over. When you were out there, did anyone ask about me?
No. Again, they barely know who I am at this point at Sequan. And so, you know, somebody could have, because when we go to these casinos, every once in a while we see somebody that used to go to Harrah's, or, you know, there was that one boxman there that used to work for Farrell's, right? So
that we knew.
But no, sorry, nobody asked.
Well, I have to ask because, you know, I want to know if someone asked about me.
Yeah, sure, that's good. I'm trying to think if anybody asked about you at poker night. I don't think so. I'm just getting a jump on your question here. No, nobody asked. I'm trying to think of my family. How's Dr. Mike doing? No, I don't think anybody's asked me lately. So
nobody cares anymore.
It's just out of sight, out of mind.
Right.
All right. Hey, Mike, do you want to learn a new blackjack variant?
You know I do.
Okay.
Mark.
All right. You ready? This one is called Double Down Madness. And as always, I did not put the description in the show notes, so you have no idea how to play this. But you're probably guessing there's a lot of doubling down in it, potential double down. Right?
Well, to be madness, otherwise it'd just be double down a little.
Yeah,
right?
Double down a little. Yeah, the idea is basically you can double at any point during the hand, even after just one card. And that's kind of really the kick. Yeah. And just to get this out of the way, okay, what's the downside? It's the typical downside for these blackjack game variants. If the dealer busts with exactly 22, everybody's bet is a push.
Okay.
Right. So, and there's a side bet for that too. That's terrible. But anyway, so after all the players make their bets, everybody's dealt one card and the dealer gives himself two cards, one down and one up.
Does he expose one?
Yeah. So you see what he has.
Oh, okay.
But you only get
before
one
you get your second card.
Correct. Mm-hmm. So you can see that. Yeah.
Right. Okay.
The only difference is you only have one card. But he already gets his second card. Okay. So at that point, you can hit or double down. So if you say have a 10 or an ace, that would be a good double down.
Yeah, if the dealer was showing a 6 or something.
Well, almost anything.
Yeah, I guess. But I mean, you might be a little hesitant with the 10.
Sure. All I'm just saying is the Wizard of Odds, and of course, I'll post a link to his analysis. But yeah, it's pretty much always when you have a 10 and an ace. And just to clear it up here, if you double down with an ace, you only get one more card. But,
okay.
Yeah, but if you double down with anything else, you can continue to double down as you go along. So let's say you start with a deuce. All you have is a deuce, and the dealer's showing a 6. That's actually a double down card. So
you can't bust.
Yeah, so let's say you double down, and let's say you started with $10. Now you make it 20. And let's say you get a 7. So now you have 9. That's probably another double down situation. Right? Because now you have 9 against a 6. Okay.
Right.
So you double again. Now this has to be a $40 double.
Now you double for $40, right?
Yeah.
So you've got 4 times your initial bet out there.
Right. Now let's say you get a deuce. So you got a total of 11. You double down again.
Yeah, you're at $80 now.
Right, exactly. And then maybe you get a 10 and you stand. You either double, hit, or stand. Obviously, you don't stand on one card, but as you go along, double, hit, or stand. And that's basically it. The dealer, again, if he busts with exactly 22, everything is a push. And the only other difference is that blackjack generally pays better than a regular game. So, for example, and this will depend on casinos, but for example, at New York, where this game is right now, if you have a suited blackjack, it pays 2 to 1.
Okay.
And again, maybe you doubled. Maybe your first card was an ace, right? And you doubled and you got a jack or something.
Right.
If it's the same suit, you get 2 to 1. If it's unsuited, it pays 3 to 2.
Okay.
Right? That's it.
Huh. And it's only at New York so far?
No, it is also at Isle Casino in Waterloo, Iowa, only 2 hours from you, Dr. Mike.
I know where it is.
Okay. Yeah. You haven't been there, though, have you?
No, I have not.
Okay. They have craps on the weekends.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, just
one table.
Yeah, okay. Those are the 2 places, at least, right now.
All right. Well, very good. I might have to try that then when we get back at the end of summer here.
Kind of interesting. I don't think it's as interesting as some of these other 22 bust games like Free Bet Blackjack or Switch Blackjack.
Right.
But yeah, kind of interesting. The Wizard does have a basic strategy that you can follow. And if the payouts are like I just described for Blackjack, like they have in New York, House Edge is actually less than 1%, 0.95. So there you go.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty good. Yeah. Yeah. And it's interesting. It's fun that you can get more money out there if you have a good hand. Although the first time you get a bunch of money out there and the dealer hits to 21 and you're stuck with 20.
Yeah. I think most of your gains are going to be when you start with an ace or a face card, or a 10, I should say. Right? Because a lot of times you're going to have a 10, you double, and then you get another 10, you've got 20. So it's almost like
I knew a 20 was coming. Right. I made a bigger bet.
I made a bigger bet. So I think that's where a lot of it comes in. The example that I gave before is kind of an extreme example just to show you what can happen. But I think in most cases, it's going to be just, you double for that second card and then you stop.
Right. And you said it was a $10 minimum at New York, New York?
I did not say that. I don't know what the minimum is at New York, New
Oh,
York.
okay.
I was just using 10 as an example.
As an example.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, because depending on the minimum, if it's 10, then yeah, I'd probably double quite a bit, right?
Well, it shouldn't matter how much you're betting. You should follow the basic strategy, Dr. Mike.
I know, but if you're betting like, say $25 for most people, it's like, yeah, I've got a 10, but what if I get a 6 on the next card, right? Then I've lost $50.
I understand that. If people are concerned about that, I would say don't play this game.
Okay.
Are you good?
Fair enough.
Okay.
Fair enough.
Good.
Yep. So where did you hear about this from?
I think it was the Wizard of Vegas forum.
Oh,
yeah,
okay.
and it's really very new. In fact, the Wizard of Odds analysis he just posted within this last month. So,
Did he ask about me?
No, Dr. Mike, he did not.
Darn. All right, moving on.
All right. Let's jump off topic just a little bit here. We got an email from listener Tony. He said, I'm a Californian traveling to Minneapolis for the first time during the upcoming Labor Day weekend. I enjoy dining at regional burger and fast food chains when I travel. Oh my gosh, this guy, Tony.
Yeah,
he's living
your
a
man.
life. Oh my gosh, I love that. I do too. For my upcoming trip, I plan to try Culver's, a Wisconsin-based chain, as well as Matt's Bar in Minneapolis for the Juicy Lucy burger. Oh yeah, those are those burgers where they cook the cheese inside. You know, when they make the patty, the cheese is inside.
They're just dripping.
Mm-hmm. Would Dr. Mike have any suggestions for burger or fast food chains that are regional to Minnesota that he has tried? Any suggestions, Dr. Mike?
Well, there's quite a few around this area in La Crosse and stuff that are, local places.
Oh, just like one shots?
Yeah, like one little place.
Well, anything that really jumps out that's like, oh my gosh, you have to try it?
No, not really, but there's Milwaukee Burger.
Is that a chain?
Yeah, there's a few of them. There's one in Minneapolis, though, I know. And they're not in California, so you might want to try that.
Have you ever had that?
I did once.
Okay.
It's okay.
All right.
I mean, it was fine.
Yeah.
I like Culver's better.
Okay.
They make those butter burgers,
Oh, yeah.
Or they just coat them in butter. I mean, you can't go wrong. You could probably put butter on a $1 casino chip that's been around for 20 years.
Yeah.
It'd probably be edible.
Yeah, be okay.
You get enough butter on there. Well, you put butter on some lutefisk, you can eat that too.
What the hell is that?
A lutefisk?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a Norwegian treat, Mark, that you just have to try.
Really?
Yeah.
Right.
Look it up sometime.
What is it? Is it... Why are you laughing? Am I going to be horrified when I look it up?
Yes.
All right. I'm not going to look it up now. Listeners can look it up, and I'll look it up after the show.
It tastes incredibly bad.
All right.
And it's like a holiday treat that they eat.
Butter it up, though.
Yeah. Oh, you have to butter it up and get some oil on there or something, too, so you can swallow it.
All right.
It's basically freeze-dried cod.
Yeah, okay. I figured it was fish-based.
That they cook up.
All right. We're really getting off topic now. Any other burger suggestions?
No, I don't know of any up there. I don't get up there enough. But I'll tell you what, if he contacted Todd Goddess, I bet he would know.
Oh, yeah. Todd probably has a better understanding of
Tanny, he lives in that area. Yeah.
All right. Well, good luck, Tony, on your trip. Hope you have some good burgers along the way.
Now, Tony did ask about me.
Yeah, he did. He specific by name. Would Dr. Mike have any suggestions?
Yeah. So there you go.
Good for you. Your week is looking up.
Yeah, everything's on the upswing for me.
Hey, thanks to everyone who's been clicking through our Amazon link. Remember, whenever you're going to buy something through Amazon, please go to our page first. You can bet on that.com and click through our Amazon link towards the top of the page. All right, that means it's voicemail time. Let's start off with Raymond.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike. I am at the Bellagio this weekend, and I noticed something very interesting about the craft fair. I don't know if this is a MGM-wide thing. I assume it would be. But they actually will now auto-buy the 5 and 9 if it's $30 or higher. So if you have the $50 5 and it hits, they give you 73 instead of 70. So it's free extra dollars, which I thought was absolutely crazy, because why would a casino introduce a rule that pays the players more? It boggles my mind. I have a feeling I'm going to have to be a little stringent about that extra couple bucks, because the math is going to be totally different now for dealers. In fact, when I was pressing, I normally go 50 to 75. But now I got to either go 50 to 80 or 50 to 100 because, right, the auto buy. So it's very interesting. Yeah, so I thought what your guys' thoughts on that is. But also, I just thought I'd let you know, I was trying to call this number, and I dialed it from memory, 951 2 wagers. I accidentally dialed 951 3 wagers and got a totally unrelated person's voicemail, which was a little awkward. I guess it's not on your site. So I had to actually go through the podcast and scrub through until I heard the girls calling the number, which was effective, and I got there. So anyway, love the show. This is Raymond. I guess I forgot to say that, but yeah, keep it up, guys.
All right, thanks. Yeah, our phone number actually is on our website, but only if you access our website from a computer. You won't see it if you're accessing it from a mobile device. And
why is that?
You're probably thinking, what? We're at the mercy of Libsyn, which is the company that hosts our podcast. Now, we just go with their generic web page. If I had to do it all over again, I'd start us off with a much nicer web page, but that's where we are now. I looked into what would it take to upgrade, do a nice one, and the number of hoops that I would have to jump through just seemed daunting, and I didn't want to risk messing up the page. So for now, you're just going to have to live with our crappy webpage. Is it a blight on the You Can Bet on That brand? Absolutely. But again, it's just because we just use the generic one that Libsyn has. Now, why? So,
this is like food for Adam.
Yeah,
that's what that is.
They admit it themselves. Listen to the podcast.
Made his month.
If you pull up the webpage on a computer, everything on the right-hand side, it's all this extra stuff. It has our PayPal. It has our phone number. It has Todd Goddess's, craps instructional book. But if you pull it up from a mobile device, it's not there. I don't know why. And maybe Libsyn will eventually change that and everything will be in there. Now, as far as the phone number goes, yeah, I actually did used to put the phone number in the show notes. So at least you had it there. So no matter when you pull up the webpage, it's always there. And somehow I got it in my head that, this is just wasting space. And I removed it from all the show notes. And now, with Raymond and other listeners, he even said, hey, why don't you just put the phone number in the show notes so it's right there and people just click on it. So, yeah, I should probably put it back in the show notes. That's something I probably should do. In the meantime...
You still haven't committed to doing it.
I know. In the meantime...
keep saying probably.
Hey, I'm sick. Listen to me. So, just remember this.
What comes first, Mark? Your personal health or the You Can Bet on That podcast?
That's actually a good point. Just remember this, 951 2 wagers. There's a wager, Dr. Mike wager, and there's a Mark wager. There are no more wagers. It's just 2 wagers. 951 2 wagers. All right. So back to Raymond's call. Yeah. So he's saying that now it's default, at least at Bellagio, you can now buy the 5 and 9 and you don't have to pay the VIG until the bet wins. So... again, according to Raymond, if you bet $30 or more, it was probably a $25 minimum table.
Because I was going to say, if they had a $15 minimum table, they should make it 20.
20 or more. So it's probably 25. But 30 or more, they automatically buy it for you. And that seems to be spreading quite a bit. And he was saying, boy, it's surprising that a casino would make things better for the player. We've mentioned this before, Mike. Craps seems to be the exception when it comes to these casino games. All the other games, they're introducing, 000 roulette and 6 to 5 blackjack. But as far as craps goes, the rules seem to get better. Higher free odds in the back. And here an example where you can buy the 5 and 9. I guess the only bad thing that has happened to craps recently is the increase in the number of crapless craps tables. And even that's not bad if they... again, only take VIG at the end of buy bets because those extreme numbers have very low house edges. So, I want to say, Mike, that in fact, this whole trend of buying the 5 and 9 might be the result of crapless craps. Because when you buy those extreme numbers, you usually pay the VIG only at the end. Right. And so...
Well, I think also, Mark, the reason that craps gets so much more respect from casinos is it's a more educated gambler. Because they're not going to put up with it. I mean,
I see what you're saying.
People will go and play 6-5 blackjack because
they're the general public.
Right. somebody else, some guy who's gambled a lot and he's a blackjack player, he may not, but the general public as a whole tends to want to play blackjack and roulette because, one, they're easier to understand, right?
Right.
And so they can get away with that kind of stuff because those people are still going to play. Craps, I don't know if you could get away with it. People just like, no, I'm going to go somewhere else. Okay. And there would be other casinos that would offer better rules. Right?
Yeah, and, for a while there, people were saying, is craps a dying game? And, maybe the casinos are trying to prevent it from dying. But, anyway,
that could be too.
Right. Yeah.
But I think most people who know how to play craps aren't going to put up with stuff like, there's no more buying the 4 and 10 or
right.
something like that. That just wouldn't go over.
Yeah. Well, Raymond has a follow-up call. And before we listen to it, let's talk about buy bets just a little bit more so everybody knows. When you make a buy bet on a number, you're betting that number will come up before a 7. Kind of like place bets. But the difference is that whereas a place bet are just odds that the casino has set, on buy bets, the casino says, all right, we'll pay you at the true mathematical odds of that number coming up before a 7, but we're going to charge you a 5% commission, or vigorish, or VIG. 5% VIG on your bet.
Right.
So if you make a $100 buy bet on the 4, they charge you $5. Now, whether they charge you that $5 when you make the bet or only when you win the bet, that will depend on the casino. So let's listen to Raymond's follow-up call here and talk about it.
Hey guys, it's Raymond again. I just got done playing some more craps at the Bellagio, and I have an actually more interesting topic with buy bets and commission. Now, I was just trying to get a straight answer about what their policy is for how much commission is charged on buy bets. If you bet $30, is that $2 or $1? If you bet $50, is that $2 or $3? And I tell you, one dealer would charge me $1, one dealer would charge me $2. And so I was just super confused. I was trying to get a straight answer. They started getting very antagonistic with me, the dealers. I was just trying to get a straight answer. So after I colored up, I went to a pit boss and asked him to explain the rules. And he just kept reiterating, it's 5%. And I'm like, well, do you round up or down? He's like, we usually round up. And I'm like, usually? What does that mean? He's like, well, I don't know. I mean, it might be 2-1, 1 the next. And then this other pit boss kind of steps in and is like, $30 is $2. The rule is we round up. And I'm like, okay, but why is $50 a $2 commission still? Because then you're rounding way down. And he's like, well, it's a courtesy. I'm like, what about $46? And he said, if you bet $46, I'm charging you $3 commission because I know you're trying to juice us.
What?
Which is just absurd. And anyway, I couldn't make heads or tails of it. At the end of the day, I guess they always round up. So $26 is $2 commission. But the exception is made for exactly $25 bets and exactly $50 bets. Anyway, I thought that was insane. It was insane how hard it was to get an answer. And even when I got an answer, they were still pretty darn antagonistic about it. Anyway, thanks, y'all. I'll listen soon. Can't wait. All right, bye.
As you can imagine, Dr. Mike, this is extremely aggravating to me.
Yes, I know. And it should be to anybody because basically what they're telling him, it's 2 on 50, 75 is going to be 3, and $100 is going to be a $5.
Well, they're not even saying that, Mike. In this situation,
but I bet that's what they were.
$46. We're going to charge you 3. Right. But we'll charge you 2 on 50. Here's why I'm aggravated. Number one,
he was doing that just to be.
I know. They're not giving him a straight answer. That's number one. Number 2 is they being antagonistic. And you've seen this before when somebody can't give you a straight answer. And again, we're talking numbers here, right? This is not a matter of opinion. This is just numbers. When they can't give you a straight answer, we're all guilty of this to a certain point. Somebody's actually asking you a legitimate question and you kind of shut down, like just accept what I've said.
Right.
Don't hold me to specifics. But it's like craps is a game of specifics. So extremely aggravating. Mike, I'm sure you'll agree with me when I say here's what they should do.
Okay.
For all bets up to $39, it should be $1.
Correct.
Right? That, again, is, for bets 20 and more, you're rounding down on that 5%, right? At $20, $1 is exactly 5%. At $39, it's not quite $2 being 5%. It's just under $2, round down. And then when you get to 40, you start charging $2. So 40 through 59 is $2. 60 through 79 is $3. And then 80 through 99 is $4. And $100 is $5. And then, beyond that is right?
That's pretty much what most casinos
do. Most casinos do that. Now, it could be that, casinos that are used to this, like Diamond Joe, or, like other places where they've had crapless for a long time and you only pay the VIG on wins. They're used to it. It sounds like this is new to Bellagio and maybe MGM.
Right. And that's probably why they didn't know what to say.
That's the thing is, if I were a pit boss and I hadn't thought about this before, maybe initially I would say, no, it's this way, and no, it's this way. But then when Raymond says, well, what about a $46 bet? Raymond's not being a jerk there. That's probably what they think. He just wants a straight answer. If I were a pit boss, I would have thought, that's interesting, and then gone and thought about it, and then talked to some superior or wrote something up, right? Instead of just trying to shut a player down.
Well, I mean, in any case, no matter what kind of person you're dealing with, there should be a set rule, and the pit should know it.
Right. And again, I realize there are some ambiguous situations at table games, but this is not that case. These are numbers.
It's a number thing, and the pit should have a chart that says, hey, we charge this, we charge that, we charge this, we charge that. Whatever they set that to be, that's their rule, and you can play that or not. But to say, we don't know, or 46 is going to cost you $3.
Yeah, 50 is $2 and 46 is $3. Just because you're trying to juice us, whatever that means.
Yeah, I don't know how that works. But there should just be rules, and they should all know it, especially the pit. I can see if maybe one dealer, if he's new or something, maybe he's confused. I don't know.
All right, putting the soapbox away. This show's all about positivity, Dr. Mike.
Yeah, well... Yeah, we'll blame it on COVID.
Okay, good. Thank you.
That's why you're so fired up.
A little worked up about it. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
Moving on.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike. This is James calling from Pennsylvania with a quick report from Caesars New Orleans, the old Harrah's New Orleans. Here for a 50th birthday party and decided to stay because I had some comp night. Headed over to the casino. They have a new high limit slot room which had a little promotion going on. It was nice. There's about 5 or 6 video poker machines in the back wall that had some pretty good payouts, which were fun to play. Went over to Crapless and was hoping to buy the 2, 3, 11, and 12, but they collected the VIG up front.
Yeah.
So I quickly told them, no bet, please take down my action. Ended up playing at the regular craps table, and they have 10 times odds, which I know you will love this when the dealer said that makes it in the favor of the players. And we all know that those odds don't mean anything. Lastly, I only played for a little while because it was a Saturday night. There's a lot of people there who don't know how to play. The game was slow. The dealers seemed to be mean. So I probably wouldn't come back here if it was just for gambling. But if I'm here for another event, then I'll definitely stop in and throw down a few hundred. So anyways, I'm going off to Biloxi tomorrow, so maybe I'll have another report. Take care, y'all.
All right. Very good. Good luck.
Great.
Yeah, this is pretty consistent. We've heard that Caesars New Orleans is nice, but from a gambling standpoint, it's not worth a trip out of your way.
Yeah, well, I mean, collecting the VIG on crapless up front.
Oh,
that's terrible. There's no reason to play that game.
No reason to play that game. Yeah, Chris and Josh at Crap Vegas, they would avoid that game like the plague because those extreme numbers, what makes them so good is that you only pay the VIG after a win. And in this case, no, it makes it absolutely terrible. All right, let's hear from our buddy Ariel.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike, this is Ariel, just doing another trip report. So we checked out the new Rio, renovated Rio. I know it's not a Caesars property anymore, but it was pretty good. They renovated the place really nice, still suite style. They have like a nice fancy sofa with pull-out bed still, so we can still pack the whole place. You could probably put 8 people on there and it'd be okay. So that was a lot of fun. Saw the Dead and Company concert at the Sphere. That's definitely an experience. I recommend it for anyone that is going to be in Vegas and able to go to the Sphere. It's definitely a great venue. Went to Harrah's San Diego too, like a following week or a week after. And we hit like the all tall small, and that was pretty good. So it was a good trip. Plus the person hit like the 4 numbers. They were trying to get the 5th number, and they couldn't do it, but they hit all tall and small. So that was great. Anyhow, appreciate you guys doing what you do, and hopefully I see you guys soon. I know it's been hard to kind of get together, but hopefully I'll see you guys soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Yeah, I hope so, Ariel. And what he's talking about there, that 4th number, Harrah's Southern California does have the fire bet as well as the all small tall. So when he's talking about 4th number, that was what he was talking about. Yeah, we've heard really good things about Dead and Company at the Sphere. It probably helps if you're a Grateful Dead fan. I guess that goes without saying. But a lot of positive things about that. And then Rio Las Vegas, now that it's no longer under the Caesars umbrella, sounds like they've been doing some nice things there. So we'll probably have to check that out before too long.
It was getting pretty run down.
It definitely was.
So I'm hoping that they fix that up. I kind of actually liked playing there.
I did
years
too.
And years ago.
Years and years ago. I remember, Mike, there was one trip where that was the first place we stopped. We drove all night or something, got there real early in the morning and something.
Yep.
And stopped there first. That. Yeah, that was fun. That was fun. All right, next call.
Hey guys, Rev Dan from Tulsa, Oklahoma, and I just heard the breaking news that Dr. Mike might be passing through the great state of Oklahoma on his return trip from San Diego. Now, I assume you all know that there are thousands, probably tens of thousands of listeners in Oklahoma who tune in every other week to hear stories of gamblers who are able to play ante-free blackjack and craps. And so I sure hope Dr. Mike is planning to have some kind of a meetup while he's in Oklahoma. I live less than a mile from the River Spirit Casino in Tulsa. It's a great casino. They actually do have ante-free craps and roulette, and so would love to see Dr. Mike there. There's also the Osage and Hard Rock in Tulsa, and it's really a great town, so let me know if you need hotel or restaurant recommendations or just come on over and have a family meal at the house. One quick story, my wife and I were passing through Las Vegas on a return trip from California and made the spontaneous decision to see if Southwest would allow us to stay overnight. They accommodated us and booked our flight to the next morning, and we quickly booked a room at the Paris and made our way there and just had a great night eating and drinking and playing craps. My wife loves to play high gal. It was not a very successful evening, but we had a lot of fun. The next morning, I woke up pretty early and had about an hour and a half till we needed to get ready and head to the airport. So I decided to take my last $500 down to the craps table. I bought in when the guy sevened out and started with the next shooter and put some modest bets out, knowing that it probably wasn't going to last me very long. And this guy just took off, and I kept pressing and pressing. He ultimately hit 9 points, and I walked away with about $3,600. It was an incredible roll. Probably went for 45 or 50 minutes, immediately cashed out. So I was there for one shooter and ended up bringing us back above even for the trip, and it was a great time. Let us know what your Oklahoma plans are, and hope that we might be able to pull some people together and hang out.
It is such a great feeling when you buy in and the next shooter just goes on this huge roll, and then you cash out. That was it, just one shooter. 9 points.
I was going to say, the best part of that story is he had to cash out. They had to catch the plane.
Had to get going.
So, it's not like, I'll see what the next shooter does. No, I got to cash out. Too bad. I'm up.
Right. It reminds me, a few years ago when Zorkfest was downtown at Plaza, a bunch of us walked over to Golden Gate and we bought in. I think this woman, it was actually the middle of a roll, not, it was a come out roll, but she'd already made a point, at least 1 point. We all bought in. She continued to have this huge roll, and then we had to go to dinner. So when she finally sevened out, we all cashed out. I mean, it was just this huge win. It's a great feeling.
Yeah, there's nothing better than that.
All right, Dr. Mike, tell us about your plans for your trip here to San Diego.
Okay, so we're recording this on Sunday, the 4th of August.
Yes.
We are leaving for San Diego early on the 5th.
Oh, okay. So tomorrow morning?
Tomorrow morning.
Oh, okay.
And we'll head to Nebraska. We're going to spend the night in Nebraska. Then we're going to spend the night in Utah on Tuesday night. And then Wednesday night, we'll be spending the night in Las Vegas.
Oh, okay. Good. Where are you staying?
At Caesar's Palace.
Okay.
So I don't know when we're going to get there and how much time I'm going to have. I mean, I'm hoping we get there like 4 or 5 in the afternoon and gamble all night, maybe a little in the morning. And then Thursday morning, we're going to leave and drive to San Diego.
Okay.
And so then I'll be in San Diego Thursday afternoon, all day Friday, all day Saturday, and Sunday morning we are leaving to come back to Minnesota.
Okay, so before you tell everybody what you're going to do for the tail end of the trip, again, you'll be here Thursday through Sunday. You'll be here all day on Friday and Saturday. I know
Correct.
It might be a little early to ask, but do you think you'd be able to fit in some casino gambling, and when would that be?
Yes, either Friday or Saturday.
Either Friday or Saturday. I think we'd probably end up going to Sequan. Do you agree?
I agree.
Okay. So Friday or Saturday, probably in the evening. Keep an eye on Twitter. We will indicate where we're going and when we're going, but probably Friday or Saturday night, Sequan.
I do have some free play at Hamul.
Oh, we'll swing by then. If you've got some. Yeah,
I do have some. They sent me something.
Well, maybe we'll play at Hamul then. Okay. I'm glad you said that, so just watch Twitter.
Yeah, we'll let it be known. So then after that, we're coming back. We're leaving on Sunday morning, and we're spending Sunday night in Albuquerque because we have some friends there. Monday night, we will be spending in Wichita Falls, Texas.
Yes, which it sounds familiar. I think our friend Paul, yes?
Yeah, Paul lives there. We're going to stop by and visit him. Now, that's right on the Oklahoma border.
Yes.
And I don't know which casino is closest to that. If we go, and if Paul wants to, that's maybe where we go on Monday night.
Monday night.
Very big tentative.
Okay.
Depends on how late we get to Wichita Falls, how tired we are, if Paul wants to go.
Yeah.
But then the next morning on that Tuesday, we are heading to Tunica.
Okay.
And we will be at the Horseshoe in Tunica.
All right. That's Tuesday night, the
13th. Mm-hmm. We'll be in Horseshoe, Tunica. We're going to go to Graceland, which is about 40 minutes away, and then leave from Tunica Wednesday morning and go to the Caesars property in St. Louis, which I believe is also Horseshoe. So we're planning on staying there that night in St. Louis, and then the next morning heading back to Minnesota.
Okay, so unfortunately, Dan, it sounds like not a lot of Oklahoma, if any. I know you had kind of teased about it on the last episode, but you've made final plans here.
Yeah, we were thinking of going that way, and then my wife really wanted to see Graceland, so we're going to go down to Tunica because it's only 40 miles from Graceland.
I don't want to speak for Paul or for you, but I'm kind of guessing you will not go to a casino that night. Yeah.
I'm guessing not. I mean, like I said, a lot of it depends on how tired we are.
Sure.
And so I don't know about Oklahoma, but yeah, if we don't get there on this trip, we will get there probably in the spring. We're planning on doing some driving around, so we may stop there in Oklahoma.
All right. Well, I will tweet again what our plans are when you're here, and I'll also tweet when you're at these other casinos. Just let me know, Mike, when you're there or when you want to play.
And so I'll let you know beforehand about what time we'll be there and where we're going. Those evenings in Tunica and St. Louis and Vegas, I know for sure we're going to be there.
Yeah,
because we have rooms reserved. As far as it goes for Oklahoma, that'll kind of be almost a last minute thing, but maybe I'll try and call Paul this weekend and talk to him, see if he's up for that.
All right. A quick recap then. You will be at Caesars Palace, Las Vegas on Wednesday night, August 7th. You're going to be here in San Diego. We'll go to the casino here, maybe Hamul, maybe Sequan, maybe both, on Friday the 9th or Saturday the 10th. And then for sure on Tuesday, you're going to be at Horseshoe Tunica. So that's Tuesday the 13th. And then on Wednesday the 14th, you're going to be in Horseshoe St. Louis. Correct. And those are the definites. Okay.
Those are the definites. And then on the 17th, which is a Saturday, I will be at Diamond Joe Worth, Iowa.
For sure?
For sure. There's a giveaway thing that I signed up for.
Okay. So even if you're tapped out from your trip, you still need to get this giveaway at Diamond Joe.
Yeah, I ordered it for my wife, so
okay.
I definitely have to go.
All right. Looking forward to seeing you again, Dr. Mike. Let's get to our last phone call.
Hey, Mark and Dr. Mike. This is Nathaniel from North Carolina. Cherokee is my home casino, and hopefully one day y'all get out here, we can meet you. I'm leaving August the 1st. Me and my nephew is flying out to Vegas. But instead of both of y'all, when y'all used to go from San Diego to Vegas, I'm going from Vegas to San Diego and seeing the casinos out there. So I just thought that was kind of a little bit different. I've always liked to go see national parks and casinos all over the country, and I've never been to that part of California before. I've been in the northern, but not the southern. So we're going to hit up about 10 or 15 of the nicest ones in 3 days, and then work our way back to Vegas. 2 or 3 days in Vegas, 2 or 3 days in Southern California. Looking forward to it, and I'll give you a call back to let you know how it went. Thanks.
Oh, great. Yeah, I think you'll really like it here. It is hot here right now, like it is in most places.
Vegas is hot.
Yeah, Vegas, of course, is hot. We're like in the 90s, so we're not Vegas, but we're certainly more humid than Vegas, but not as humid as the Midwest, as the South.
Yes.
Our humidity's around, gets as high as maybe 6. It's getting to 70. For us, it's humid. But hopefully you have a good trip.
We were at 92 yesterday.
Yeah.
But it was only 80 degrees, and it's supposed to cool down this week that I'm not going to be here, but it's supposed to cool down into the 70s, low 70s.
Have a safe trip.
And just wanted to mention real quick for Nathaniel, if he wants to see a national park, Cabrillo Monument is a national park.
It was like one of the most popular. Yeah. Lighthouse at the end of Point Loma. Yeah.
Point Loma, it had the most visitors in a year of any national park, believe it or not.
Yeah, I guess I can understand it because you get some great views of San Diego Bay. Yeah, and there's a little bit of hiking, and you can actually go down to some tide pools. So, it's really a great place.
Well, the reason it gets the most in a year is because you can go any time of the year.
That's true, too. Yeah.
Not a lot of people going to Yosemite or something in the middle of winter, places like that. There, it's year round.
Yeah. All right, well, that's going to do it for this episode. We want to thank some people for some recurring donations. From James, from Jeremy at the Color Up YouTube channel, and from Kurt. Thank you very much for those recurring donations. We also got a donation from listener Troy. Karma donation for a 4-day downtown solo trip. Oh, man, that sounds like a gambling trip. Right? Yes. If you're going downtown by yourself,
that is
you're going to gamble. So good luck, Troy. And also a donation from Nate. Love the show. Karma donation for my trip to Vegas next week. Hopefully this gets me off the schneid with craps. Oh, good luck. I know the feeling. You guys are fun and informative. Well, thank you. Love the show. Nate from Atlanta. And Nate sent us some suggestions for planning a trip to Harrah's Cherokee that we still plan on doing next year. So thank you for those suggestions, Nate. Hey, at the top of our webpage, you'll find a link to our store where you can buy You Can Bet on That merchandise. Also, you can find a list of all the gambling-related shows coming up on American television at youcanbetonThat.com/TV-listings. And we've got a list of gambling-related movies at youcanbetonThat.com/movies. We'd love to hear from you. Call our voicemail hotline at 951-292-4377. That's 9512-WAGERS.
9512-WAGERS.
Or you can email us at youcanbetonThat@gmail.com. My voice. We're also on Twitter, sorry, Elon, at You Can Bet On That, and on Facebook at facebook.com/YouCanBetOnThat. What do you got for us, Dr. Mike?
Well, Mark, I've been enjoying the Olympics. I hope
me too, yeah.
You have as well, in our COVID-free environment of our basement here, and I have a monster big TV.
Yep.
And I've been sitting here watching the Olympics, and there have been a lot of good performances and everything,
sure.
But no one better than that pole vaulter who knocked the bar over with his body part.
It's almost like he should get a gold medal for that.
Yeah. I mean, when you see that in slow motion, it's like, yeah, that deserves a medal.
Good for you.
I thought that was the funniest. I was playing it over and over and over. Look what happened to this poor guy. And I'm thinking, poor guy. Well, anyway, the Olympics has been fun and I'm enjoying it. I'm going to have to enjoy the rest.
On the road. Well, that is nice. You'll know when you get to a hotel room that it's on. So, yeah.
Yeah, right. I have something to watch in the hotel rooms. That's good. Padres are playing some good baseball.
Yeah, some exciting games. Yep.
Creeping closer to the Dodgers every day.
Yep.
So that's going to be exciting at the end of September there. I think things are going to tighten up. It's going to be a good race.
Yep, that'll be fun.
Yeah, and then all this gambling coming up. I'm on a real high here, Mark.
I'll bet you are. Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Well, again, have a safe trip. Looking forward to seeing you. And thanks for listening, everybody. We'll talk in a couple weeks.
And have a good night.
Come on, my card only has a 1 in 52 chance of getting picked anyway.
How did you know that? You're like Rain Man. Quick, how many toothpicks are on the ground?
0.
We need to go to Vegas.